Hi, I'm Alex.
Hi, I'm Romeo.
And I'm Phil.
And yeah, we're the boys from the Southern Ukulele Store. Phil, can you talk for me? Because you're a canon.
Yeah, I'll probably talk about this loudly.
Okay.
You won't.
Lie. That's such a lie.
It'll all go wanky bollock.
Well, maybe like that's as loud as I
Yeah, right now. Hi, I'm Alex.
Hi, I'm Romeo.
And I'm Phil.
And yeah, we're the guys from the Southern Ukulele Store. Those guys that do the silly Instagram reels and then play music that completely legitimises the rest of the weird shit that we do.
Yes.
Yeah, and this is our annual top 10, which has been going for, I think this is the 8th year. We've had some amazing winners, ukuleles that just came along and changed everything. That seems to be what we look for in a winner. We look for things that progress what's important in the ukulele world and just what's popular and what we like. This top 10 means absolutely nothing to anybody. It doesn't change the world, and everyone has their own top 10, and we welcome you to comment your top 10 ukuleles if you have such a comprehensive list. But what was it you said earlier on about this list?
I think I said something along the lines of the list we have for this year is such a vast and varied list. It gives a complete comprehensive guide of what it is we actually do. Words to that effect. That's not a direct quote, but
no, it's good.
Was
yeah,
pretty spot on.
Near enough.
And I mean, we all had very different ideas of what the top 10 should be this year. As we film this, it's mid-November, but we started talking about this as far back as July, which seems strange. But at number 10 this year is an L.Luthier, and I think we all agreed that L.Luthier deserved a spot. The two ukuleles, two halves of the same coin, are the Sand and the Ocean series. We're going to play that for you now, and we'll be right back. So just in case you didn't catch that, because me and the guys tend to waffle on for a really, really long time, you know, 1 minute of footage might take me 15 minutes to film. Yeah, number 10 this year is the Sand and the Ocean, and you might be wondering why, other than the names having an underlying theme, why are we featuring two ukuleles in this spot? Well, they're the first commercially available double top ukuleles that we've had made in a factory that have been under £1,000. The Sand in particular, under £1,000. You have a mahogany and a cedar top, so a double top laid on. This is quilted mahogany with a cedar top underneath, and then rosewood back and sides, which is a really premium instrument. Like, I've never seen an instrument of this spec at this price before, and it's the kind of instrument that I think you're either going to love at first sight or you're going to just completely overlook altogether. But those that have come in and tried one, nearly every single time they've chosen it over things that have been, in one case recently, somebody chose the Lipson, the version with the offset sound hole, over a £3,000 Kanile'a because it just sounded right, and in their hands it sounded excellent. So yeah, a premium ukulele at a price that's aspirational to a lot more people, so well deserving of being on this list. And I just wanted to elaborate on why we chose it, because I don't feel like we really put it across well in the intro. But this is the Sand, number 10 this year. At number 9 this year, we have number 9 from last year, I think. We have a ukulele that featured on the list last year, but has just been consistently exciting. And that's the Ohana Jazzy ukuleles. Now, I think we put them at number 9, but they could have just as easily been in the top 3.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Absolutely.
Yeah, easily.
Yeah, I think there's a real rustic charm to them, which it kind of encourages you to play things that you might not have played before. They feel brand new and worn in at the same time, which only adds to how special they are.
I think with the Fanas, for me, it was like another upgrade of the solid bodies that we already have that are pre-existing, with things like from Flight and previously Risa, that kind of just built on that. They sound great, they look amazing, and just to echo what Phil said about making different approaches on as far as sound goes sonically, making you look at a different tune into the different ways of approaching it. And sound absolutely amazing and just look really cool.
Yeah, I like the pickups. The pickups are hand wound. They're made in South Africa by Fana, and you can tell, like, it's one of those rare occasions where you spend a bit more and you get something that feels like it's a step up.
Absolutely.
That's what made it so exciting, because that electric ukulele market didn't really exist other than Risa 5-6 years ago.
Yeah.
And then Flight came along and their range is great, and then Fana is in the middle if you want to spend more, and they're great. And then we've got other ukulele brands like Ohana producing things too. So the Fana Jazzy is the one that tickles the most fancies.
Yeah, 100%.
Absolutely.
And big shout out to Tabitha, the pink flying V.
Oh, be safe up there, Tabitha.
In fact, should we play that clip now of the Friday Jam where you play the Flying V?
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah.
Of an old dream, like a ghost of a memory, like a hoax. You were keeping company. Make you bad with excuses. Need your peace, cut your losses, leave a mess for the next century. I'm a creature of habit. I know pain like I know the back of my hand. And if history repeats, I wanna defy it. I wanna make love in this life any way that I can. Time is a teacher. I'm a creature.
At number 8 this year, we have the Kanile'a KTR Pro series, whether that's the tenor or the super tenor. That model has been the most popular Kanile'a in store in Southern Ukulele Store this year. A model that throws everything at the wall, feels like a custom shop instrument. It's the top end production model made in Hawaii by Kanile'a, and it's just fantastic. The still the only instrument out there to have the body contouring, where the body thins out so that it fits under your arm perfectly. It's got so much technology thrown at it, things that the ukulele aspires to be, which is so cool that that's even a possibility in 2025. The body chamfering down, the laser thinning of the top. So every modern production technique that Kanile'a have used goes into that model, and what you get is the 10 years of hard work on the platinum in a production model. And it's by no means cheap, but it's lovely when there's a clear path to see what you're getting for your money, which is what Kanile'a are able to do with that series. The tenor and super tenor have both been equally popular this year, with 5 of each selling in the 12-month period of 2025. So it's hard to pick a distinct favourite. Both are great. I'm going to give them a play for you now and see what you think. At number 7 this year, we're going to talk about Uma. And this is a first time, I believe, that I've featured a soprano on this top 10 list in over 5 years. This is the Uma UK30 SSP Evo. Now, this ukulele is a pineapple soprano. What's that doing on this list? Well, I have to say, sopranos are having a moment. More and more people are looking for them this year. They went from being 5% of our overall sales just a few years ago to this year actually being more popular than concert ukuleles. How crazy is that? So if you're actually interested in that as a measurement, I could run a report for you if you want to have a conversation about it. But actually, the tenor size continues to be the most popular size. The concert size continues to be the least popular size, but actually the soprano ukulele seems to be winning over a few people from baritones this year. Baritone was overwhelmingly our second most popular size last year. That's dropped by about 5-6% this year, and this year that's been gained by sopranos. And one of the most notable examples of that has to be this model here. It's all solid acacia. It's not just this model that Uma do that's really tickling people. They do a mahogany version of this called the UK20 SSP that we offer with a pickup and without a pickup. And those 3 models, it feels like we're selling one every day in store, or we're selling every day one of those on the website. But the one that made the list is the 30 SSP, because I don't remember a time that a pineapple soprano came along that felt so unique, because pineapple ukuleles tend to feel quite traditional. They're based on the old Kamaka style of pineapple, but this is big and bold, a bit more like a Ramiro Creations ukulele. You know, it feels like a concert, it sounds like a concert, but it's just petite enough that it fits in a soprano gig bag. It's got a slotted headstock, good strings, a nice compact neck, and just a fun ukulele to look at and to play. We've just recently started stocking the normal soprano shaped versions of the mahogany uke in this range, but I look forward to seeing what Uma do in the coming year and whether they expand this range further, because this has been a wonder. And actually for a couple of months there, around April, May this year, we felt this might end up being the top uke of the year. So definitely a uke that was always on this list from the moment that we first got it. There were people out there that had been looking for this and they maybe didn't even know it, and plenty of people out there that picked one up for the first time, bonded, and that's it, that's their uke. So let's give the UK30 SSP by Uma a play and see what you think. So absolutely no one's surprise on this list this year is the collaboration between Dan Lipson and Pete Howlett, the Constellation of Aries ukulele that we received actually just last week at the time of filming, and I kind of rushed to film as much content as I could and put that out before the top 10 of the year video. And my only regret really is that I didn't wait until these ukuleles came along before we compiled the top 10, because there was a strange conversation I had at lunch with Pete Howlett after these were delivered, where he asked me where this would go on the top 10 of the year. And these things, they're so subjective, because how do you quantify really where an individual instrument crafted by somebody in the later stages of their life with an illness that quite often means they can't work at all for a long time, in collaboration with another builder who is the most enthusiastic apprentice ever, and then you compare it to things that are going to be necessarily above this in the list that might be, you know, a fraction of the price, capture the imagination of the ukulele world in a completely different way. This is just the folly of one man, in fact 3 men. I'm going to throw Phil and Romeo under the bus. They're involved with me on this list. But I wanted to feature this. I actually saved a space just in case, and I had a backup ready to go in the top 10. I was like, yeah, it's just missed out. It'll make the honourable mentions. But this Constellation ukulele made of English wood, so you have this this English redwood top, this walnut back and sides. The combination of redwood and walnut is just sublime on a ukulele. I'm a big fan of softwood tops, you know, the cedars, spruces of this world, and redwood's my favourite, and this is a lovely piece of wood. There's a lot of innovation that went into this that you can find in the video that I made with Pete Howlett and Dan Lipson, where we talked at length about the series of ukes they're making. But for now, well deserving of its place on the list. This is the Constellation of Aries. Let's give it a play. Damn, ukulele made me cry. At number 5 this year, we have the Ohana electric ukuleles. Aside from being very difficult to film on camera without some kind of glare from a light, these ukes have been a game changer at the high end. Electric ukuleles in general seem to cause a bit of controversy. I'm not really sure why. If you think about the mandolin and the electric mandolin, they go hand in hand, and they've both been around for decades and decades and decades. And yet when the electric ukulele was introduced by Risa at a mainstream level 10 years ago, very few people took it seriously. And then Flight have come along and produced an entire range of affordable electric ukuleles, and I see more and more people turn to them. Then we have Fana, who are producing in South Africa some of the greatest electric instruments. I mean, whether you want to say guitar or whatever, they're awesome instruments. But at a custom shop level, a USA made instrument, for example, something that hadn't been adopted yet. And Brad, the Luthier at Ohana, somebody who we have a lot of time and respect for, produced this unique design. It has elements of famous electric guitars from the 1950s through to the modern PRS style guitars, but it's its own shape. The pickups are made in-house. Brad spent a lot of time this year, probably last year now, learning how to make pickups from scratch. So these pickups are hand wound, much like the Fanas. The body is a gorgeous piece of quilted maple laid onto a block of mahogany. These are available in whatever colour your heart imagines from the Ohana custom shop, and some dealer colours as well, like this. Every bit of detail about this is lovely. The recessed the recessed knobs, the controls that are dipped into the body so that you don't brush them when you play. The actual arching to the top itself is gorgeous. This is a high-end custom shop electric ukulele, and the first one that's really come along. Not to mention, one of our most viewed videos of the year was actually a video I made about Ohana electrics and Fanas, comparing them, and so many folks came through and special ordered this kind of instrument from us after seeing that video, that there's obviously something in it. There's an itch that needs scratching. So I'm going to take you back to that moment in time earlier in the year when Phil played one of these for the first time.
Sorry.
At number 4 this year.
I just hate it. I can't count.
Number 4. At number 4 this year, we have Oli. We spent a lot of time trying to figure out which Oli model to put in this list, because Oli, everything's good. Everything's unique. Everything is built off of a really strong foundation. Andrew Katakis and those beautiful boys at the ukulele site and the team in Java, Indonesia, they're producing custom shop ukuleles that are not necessarily custom shop prices. But if you want something really balls to the wall impressive, they can do that as well. So we settled on the L2 TMG, the Mango lattice brace tenor. But we all have different opinions. What's your favourite Oli?
The X2. The X2 was amazing. That was the Torrefied Spruce. Yeah, really, really beautiful. But then, you know, when Phil and I did the Birmingham Guitar Show back in February, we brought a black mango. It was black
An
mango.
L1, so a normal lattice braced one, but stained black.
Yeah.
And I feel like that ukulele's been really influential, because if you're looking at what Carla are producing next year, it's like a lot of brands are looking at Oli and then they're trying to produce new ukuleles, and there's definitely inspiration taken from what Oli have already done right.
Yeah,
absolutely.
We settled on the L2 TMG, which is lattice braced, which I think is what they do best.
Yeah, they do.
We like that
Amazing,
Torrefied Spruce, that lattice brace stuff. Every lattice brace uke, they've done the L, L1, L2, and we've even had L3s. Like everything's good. It weighs nothing. It's very responsive. It feels really precise. And the L2 TMG is the mango, which is the most popular wood in that range, and it has the mango plant. I'm just going to interrupt you for a second, guys, because you didn't really talk about the ukulele that made the list. This is the L2 TMG. This ukulele is all solid mango with an ebony rosette, an ebony front and back binding, as well as a really cool offset side sound hole. It has this beveled edge here for comfort as you play. The slight radius in the neck is extremely important to the people that pick up an Oli and play one. That feeling that a bar chord is slightly easier to play is something that so many people struggle with. The neck is satin mahogany. It has a 30, I think it's officially a 37, but it feels like a 38mm nut width with a nice wide string spacing and profile. And then you have here the inlays that I was talking about a moment ago. Just a lovely floral edge to what's already a very, very pretty ukulele. Goto planetary tuners. The L2 TMG is the model that I feel like we can't be without here at SUS, and it's worthy of its place on the list here on the top 10 ukuleles of the year. Number 3 this year is a Coast ukulele. It's not number 100, which at the time of filming is still available, and we just recently talked about in another video. It's not actually number 99, another ukulele we talked about in a video recently. It's a uke that we haven't yet touched on. What? I know. So this is Coast ukulele number 105. This was sent to us by Kavai just recently and kept aside for this video because Kavai has made this ukulele to be raffled off. So this ukulele is, first of all, let's talk about it and then we'll talk about the raffle. This has a floral skeleton inlay, one of the most beautiful inlays in its own kind of weird and wonderful way that we've ever had, going down a Ziricoti fingerboard to a live edge Koa pineapple soprano body. The wood used from this ukulele was from a previous instrument that Kavai has built, left over and then used for this purpose specifically. It has a side sound port. The back on this uke is gorgeous as well. Really lovely piece of Koa for the back. This is the first Soprano I've ever played with a fingerboard radius. It's comfortable to play. There's a carbon fibre rod in the necks. There's a lot of sustain to this uke. It feels good in your hands. Goto planetary tuners, and it's just wonderful that Kawai is offering this up. Now, to be transparent, Kawai has offered this up for a raffle because, first of all, there's a desire to create a ukulele that somebody who couldn't afford a Coast ukulele would have an opportunity to buy one. So the raffle prize here, anyone is eligible for it, and you can enter as many times as you like, and you will be drawn into a raffle at a later date. All that information will be in the listing for the raffle tickets. You can find that in the description for this video on YouTube, or on the front page of the Southern Ukulele Store website for the month of December 2025. And secondly, Kawai made this ukulele for, I feel quite selfish talking about it on camera, but earlier this year I really wanted to get the Ukulele up and running. I really wanted to create a community vibe and give people a reason to just stick around at the Southern Ukulele Store. I felt like it was the thing missing from our new store. Kawai and I were talking back and forth around the time that I was trying to figure out how to make that happen, and Kawai began building this ukulele as a means to help me fund the Ukulele, which is an extremely lovely thing to do for the ukulele community and for us personally. Although, let's face it, the Ukulele will never make a penny. It's just purely here so we can make coffee for folks and get to know them better and just make them feel at home when they visit. It was still a lovely thing to do, and I feel very embarrassed talking about it on camera, to be honest with you, because there's a million things that money could go towards that would be probably better. But Kawai built it for this reason, and I'm very honoured for that. So yeah, this is Coast number 105, number 3 on the list this year, and I mean, I think we can all agree that the Soprano is having its moment, because that's the second Soprano on the list today, and you won't find one quite as intriguing to look at as this skeleton floral live edge koa pineapple masterpiece. Let's give it a play. Number 2 this year covers a lot of ground, because this series of ukuleles was available in various incarnations across different sizes, and each one was equally popular. When we had these ukuleles, they took 10 months to come, but when we had these ukuleles, most of these models sold out immediately, never to be repeated again by Kala, and that's the 20th anniversary ukuleles. So this one here is the Soprano, the F8 Koa S. This was the most popular of the bunch, and I think that came to everybody's surprise, including myself. I knew they would be popular. I didn't anticipate that 25 of these ukuleles would sell in about 24, maybe 48 hours. I actually had to remove listings and save ukuleles because I realised very quickly these ukes were going to have to feature in the video. So this is the F8 Koa S, and this is the F8D Koa S. These are the Soprano ukuleles for the 20th anniversary, and they have this special arm wrestling crest. They are made using very lovely Hawaiian koa for the top, back and sides, and they feel unlike any other kala that we've ever had before. They are extremely reasonably priced as well. Before we had these ukuleles in stock, there were dealers selling them secondhand in Japan for 3 times the price that they were new. So to say that Kala had come across something collectible would be an understatement. This series, the Sopranos in particular, will be repeated in a different spec next year. So the popularity of these has not been lost on Kala, who obviously sold out their own allocation of these very quickly in the US. These ukuleles are going to be made again in mahogany next year. But there's something about the koa. Getting something that's all solid Hawaiian koa for about £300 just doesn't happen in 2025. So that's the launching point for this, and definitely the reason that these are at number 2. But they were available in other sizes as well. The other model in that range with the California poppy inlay on the headstock and the koa and mahogany bodies, equally as popular. Every single one of these I had immediately sold out. In fact, I will announce now at the time of launching this video that I managed to get some stock from another store that had held their orders. I'm not really sure what happened, but I managed to get half a dozen of these ukuleles, and I've listed them and put them on the website ready for when this video goes live. So you can find them on the Southern Ukulele Store website immediately after the winner is announced. And that's including a couple of these as well. So if you missed out on an opportunity to get them and you're watching this on the day that the video is live, 1st of December-ish, 2025, then there is a very, very brief window where you can get one of these. But afterwards, please don't email me and ask me when I'm getting more, because I'm saying categorically now, this all solid koa version is something that I've been told will not be made available again. Yeah, that whole range is fantastic. And there was this part of us, we very, very nearly made this particular ukulele number 1 this year, because there's something so cool about a soprano being cool. I love that. That's not happened before in the 16, 17 years I've been selling ukuleles. The soprano had a moment this year with the Uma Pineapple, first of all. Even that raffle ukulele that we're doing from Coast. People are waking up to sopranos, and it's so lovely to see. Really, I could sit here all day and show off this entire range, but as I'm holding an F8 Koa S and I've got a Tenor XL down there, I'm going to give both of those a play for you now, and I'll be back to announce the winner. I just had a thought. Do you know what would be better than me doing a sound sample on this Kala F8 Koa ukulele? International soprano ukulele superstar Christopher Davis Shannon. Take it away, Chris. Well, we're there, folks. It's time. We can finally announce some honourable mentions. I know, I'm sorry. Well, the honourable mentions this year, the first one is the big one. It's the Kala Revelator once again. Kala Revelator won this award last year. We made the Uke of the Year the Kala Revelator in 2024, and 2025, the momentum from that has actually only grown. If I could make that ukulele Uke of the Year again, it would be in serious contention for it, because every time we've had night owls, they've sold out very, very quickly. Every US custom that we've produced in 2025 has gone very, very quickly. There's things coming in 2026 from Kala in general, but specific sus exclusive models that I have been excited about for nearly a year already. I can't wait to see what happens with the Revelator shape, the style in 2026, but I know that it's going to be good. And it didn't make the list this year because it won last year, but it would be silly not to mention it up there, given that I feel like it's a huge part of my shop now. It's something that I am very, very proud to sell and very, very proud to put, to put our name to and get behind when we can. Another honourable mention this year is the Kanile'a Platinum ukulele. Having the Platinum ukulele with the diamonds in earlier on in the year felt very, very special. Seeing something like that up close, I think the most expensive ukulele that we've ever had in Southern Ukulele Store, and I don't want to glorify that because ultimately, it's a very privileged few who can afford it, but to have something like that turn up that blurs the lines between jewelry making and ukulele manufacturing was a real education for us. It really opened our eyes to kind of that 1% of L.Luthier, and even made us feel kind of connected to what a jeweler must do and the work that goes into working with those precious materials. So the Platinum was a real highlight of the year and definitely deserves an honourable mention. Another brand that deserves an honourable mention, I can't say it, I'm recording this at 5:30 in the morning, can you tell? So another brand that deserves an honourable mention is Rebel. Rebel launched so many new models this year. We got them quite late in the day, and at the time of announcing and making this list, they haven't had the opportunity to make a full impact. We've had quite a few people visit the store and try the Op-On and the Lovelace, and obviously the models that we've had in the past continue to be popular. I feel like Rebel are going to have a very, very strong 2026 as well, and I have regrets for not putting them on this top 10 list. And finally, an honourable mention to Kavai at Coast, who has provided us with a ukulele for a raffle. One of the most extraordinary gifts that somebody could give us. We're very, very grateful to work with Kavai and Coast and the family at Coast and be able to showcase those wonderful instruments as and when they're made available to us. I'm glad that I put Coast in the list this year. I'm glad that we got to talk about Coast number 100, which has been a very special thing for Southern Ukulele Store and could have just as easily been number one on the list as the number one we're about to announce. And here it is. The top ukulele of 2025 is the Flight Songbird Tenor. Now this ukulele incorporates so many of the things people love about existing flight ukuleles, which have for the last 5 years been possibly the flagship brand that we do here at Southern Ukulele Store. Along with Kala and perhaps Kanile'a, Flights have continued to bring out things that have ignited a spark in ukulele players or reignited a lapsed passion. They have produced some fantastic models in recent years, the Comet, the Fireball. They've released this year alone the Aviator, the Nighthawk, the 4-string boy. The list goes on and on and on. But one thing they hadn't done successfully to this point was capture the imaginations of people looking for a slimline ukulele. Now the Aviator has come along, and that's divided opinion this year for sure. But the Flight Songbird came before it, and for me, this is Flight's new flagship model. I can't wait for them to incorporate this design with the slimline body onto some of their other models. Maybe there'll be a mini Fireball. What would be mini Fireball? A Pyro Ball? I don't know. They're good at marketing, Flight. They'll come up with something cool. But the Songbird has this raspberry black forest finish to it, this purple finish, And this purple colour, say what you want about it, if it's not for you, that's fine. Man and woman, girl and boy, everybody has been drawn to this. And we haven't had many opportunities to just stick one on the wall and see what people want, because we had one delivery of these before the middle of November. And everything on that delivery had pre-sold. We had one customer change their mind and go for a different flight uke, and we put one of these on the wall and it was gone within half an hour. It's been the most popular individual ukulele of the year, and there was some debate really about whether this or the Kala 20th anniversary model should be number one. But actually, it's one thing to have something popular across all sizes with slight differences between models, especially when it's something commemorative and something they're not going to repeat. But actually, a ukulele that's going to be available around the world in 2026 is the Flight Songbird, and I think it's a deserving winner. Rather than just say it's slimline, it's cool, it's purple, let's talk about the spec a bit. This has a quilted maple top underneath that purple finish with mango back and sides, all solid wood. There is a side sound port, which I think is very effective on this ukulele. If I was to have it facing me this way, you can actually hear some of the sympathetic treble come out from this ukulele. It has some front binding and a chamfered edge like a comfort armrest there on the body. That's an N-pin jack socket which connects to a volume and tone control inside the sound hole. Has an Indian rosewood fingerboard and bridge, and this Songbird inlay on the fingerboard. Now, shout out to Justine, a teacher known as Justalele here in the UK, who works with the London Ukulele Project, who designed this ukulele and requested Flight make it, and it went on very quickly to become a short run production model, and then suddenly it's the top ukulele of the year 7-8 months later. This Songbird inlay is a lovely feature, and for me it's not the thing that immediately draws me to the ukulele, but it's definitely a lovely feature to have, and something that on second glance you definitely capture if you don't immediately spot it when looking down the fingerboard that way. This has a slotted headstock with the purple raspberry style finish. Sorry, just a sticker there. You have the black open gear tuners that you know with Flight, a nice wide nut width at 38mm with a 30mm string spacing. It's just an excellent ukulele, and one that is thoroughly deserving of being the ukulele of the year. Well done Flight for doing it again. For a ukulele that's been limited in release so far, it's been so popular that Flight have already made a more affordable ukulele in the Iris Tinter range, a range that I probably at the time of filming have spoken about on camera, but at the time of filming it's hard to explain. They've done another purple ukulele. That's going to be something that's more commonly available at the more affordable end for beginners in 2026. And I know that Flight have plans to make this ukulele in some of the other sizes too, for those that are not tenor players. So apparently this is going to be one of the first ukuleles that gives concert players some love out there. It's been a while since a concert ukulele had a release like this, so something to look forward to for next year. In the meantime though, let's give the ukulele of the year a play and see what you think. Just want to thank you all so much for watching throughout the year. Make sure you like these videos. Please do leave a comment, share them with your friends, subscribe. All those things that help me get visibility to this channel and find new ukulele players from around the world. Everything that you guys do, supporting our business, coming back to us time and time again. There really is no substitute for word of mouth feedback, and so many of you praise us and talk about the positive experiences that you've had with this store time and time again. I just love and cherish what we have here at Southern Ukulele Store, and I know that so many of you do too. Thank you, love you, bye.
Say you wanna start something new. Well, it's breaking my heart you're leaving. Baby, I'm grieving. And if you wanna leave, take good care. Hope you got a lot of nice things to wear. Just remember there's a lot of bad and beware. Ooh, baby, baby, it's a wild world. Hard to get by just upon a smile. Ooh, baby, baby, it's a wild world. I'll always remember you like a child girl. La 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 la. I've seen a lot of what the world can do, and it's breaking my heart in two. You know I never wanna see you sad, girl. Don't be a bad girl. And if you wanna leave, take good care. I hope you got a nice things to wear. Just remember there's a lot of bad everywhere. Oh baby, baby, it's a wild world. It's hard to get by just upon a smile, girl. Oh baby, baby, it's a wild world. I'll always remember you like a child girl. La 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 la. Baby, I love you, and if you wanna leave, we'll take good care. Hope you make a lot of nice friends out there. Just remember there's a lot of